Bungie is getting desperate. They are now paying people to play Marathon. It's that bad. No one wants to play this game. No one wants to play test this game. So they are throwing fistfuls of cash at people just to get people to give them some feedback. We're going to jump into the article and talk about this topic because I found this to be so funny and also kind of sad. Bungie's Marathon is getting its longest playtest yet. 30 days, $500 thank you reward. So for their new playtest, it's going to be an extended playtest for 30 days. If you sign up for it, I think you play for, I don't know how long it is, I think maybe an hour a day for 30 days. And then you'll get that $500 credit card. What are they going to give you, $500 in silver? Let's see what we got here. Bungie has started inviting select players to a month-long marathon user research study starting next month. A month-long study is a pretty crazy one. I don't know if I've ever actually heard of this. This can't be extremely common in game development. Have you guys ever heard of a month-long study like this? Month-long research for a game?
What, where they're paying people to do it? No.
This is like unprecedented. Like, I'm like so confused.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that.
I've never heard of something like this. I've never heard of a company like why would they even want that, you know?
What's the gift card for?
Chili's?
I don't know. Wait, no, you're not being that ass, right? I believe that too. 500 Chili's gift card for playing Marathon an hour a day for a month.
500, yeah, in-game currency in Concord. Bungie's extraction shooter Marathon is still in active development and has been running regular playtests. After mixed to negative early feedback and the big art theft controversy, Bungie officially delayed the game past its original September 2025 launch date. In the months since, the studio has quietly held monthly, invite-only playtests to gather tighter, more regular feedback. Now, this is the part I have the biggest problem with. You've already been given the necessary feedback, Bungie. You don't need to close off all communication to the outside world and invite a select few people into the studio and pay them a bunch of money in order to get better feedback. What you need to do is make a radical shift to the game. You need to make big changes, ones that don't happen in such a short period of time, right? These are changes that are not going to happen overnight or within a month or two. It's going to take quite some time to change and implement all the necessary systematic changes that Marathon needs if it even wants to stand a chance at being successful. Which, if I'm being honest, it's probably not going to even stand a chance, which is very unfair, but unfortunately that's the world we live in. We live in an unfair world. And when you launch a game with a ton of art theft, especially a game that's meant to be praised by its art, first and foremost, then yeah, you know, you unfortunately you lose, right? You lose. The game doesn't do well. Sony has also weighed in on the timing, saying it expects Marathon to arrive within its fiscal year for 2025, which is going to be my March 31st, 2026. So what are we? We're in basically September right now. So we got September, October, November, December, January, February, March. We got 7 months before this game goes live. At some point in time before those 7 months, we'll get an announcement for when it will launch, or maybe we'll get extended delays. Now, there's a few different directions that this can go, right? We're going to get a new launch date, a new trailer, a new announcement, and if the feedback to that is extremely poor, if people are still like, nah, this game is not it, they could extend the delays even further than this window right now. But there will come a point when they have to just kind of say, yeah, this project just doesn't launch, you know? This project just does not launch. And it's an unfortunate thing to say, but I just don't think that, I think that at its core, I'll give you a good example. At its core, Destiny 2 is a good game that just needs a lot of content, and it's hard for Bungie to do that. It's a hard project to handle. Destiny 2 has, first person, which is it's harder to do first person than it is to do third person. It has PvE, PvP, all these activities, all these cosmetics, there's a lot of moving parts, right? But Destiny at its core, its gunplay is really good. So it always has something that kind of sells it. But Marathon doesn't have that. Marathon doesn't have this core thing that makes it good and desirable. So it's bad. It's bad. Sony then goes on, while stressing that it's not a firm commitment, now it looks like Bungie is getting ready for its longest round of playtesting for Marathon yet. 30 days of consecutive playtest sessions with daily check-ins and cash equivalent thank you at the end for those who complete it. So there you go. They're paying people to play Marathon. 30-day playtest, dates, times, and rewards. Yesterday, select players received a new email from Bungie titled Marathon 30-Day User Research Study. You're invited. The invite outlines a fully remote playtest that runs for 30 consecutive days from Monday, September 8th through Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, weekends included. Now, obviously, with this, there's going to be a hefty NDA. You're not going to be able to show any of the recordings or anything that you see during this 30-day playtest. Now, if you do leak this gameplay, you're going to be forfeiting your $500 though, so you could potentially get sued by Bungie as well. So maybe there won't be leaks. They've kept it pretty locked tight so far. But even if we don't see the leaks, we'll actually get some feedback from those that did play it. Even though it's not a visual leak, like we can't see it for ourselves, we'll be able to hear what the sentiment is. But I would say that most of the time, those sentiments are really biased. People are just like, usually they invite people that already like Marathon a lot, or they liked it originally before it launched. And so they kind of like this echo chamber of just like inviting people that already like the game no matter what. And then they just keep saying, yeah, it's the best game of the year. And then they reveal it to the world and everyone says, this is trash, you know? And it's like, you know, they just keep inviting the wrong people, right? They don't invite people that exhibit any sort of critical thinking. Participants are required to play for at least 1 hour per day during the scheduled windows, 3 to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 2 to 8 p.m. on weekdays. So you are required to play if you want to get your $500 Chili's gift card. The message also notes that recipients were contacted because they'd previously expressed interest in future research opportunities. In addition to gameplay, Bungie will also be collecting feedback through a short daily survey and a weekly survey. As a thank you, players who complete the entire 30-day study will receive a $500 gift card of their choice. If you only finish part of the study, you will only receive a portion of the reward based on the number of days that you have completed. So there you go. You'll be able to get and give some feedback on Marathon as Bungie is trying to navigate through these turbulent waters and these turbulent times. The email also makes it clear that this month-long study is separate from the monthly closed Playtest 3 running September 3rd to 5th. So they've already done Playtest 1, that was locked down, no one leaked anything. They did Playtest 2, that was locked down, no one leaked anything. They're still running Playtest number 3 from September 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and this is its own separate thing. They are playtesting this thing like crazy. I have never heard of a game doing this much playtesting and adjustments. I almost admire it if I didn't feel like playtesting was the wrong route to go. I feel like you actually go the other way. I think that you go very transparent about the changes that you want to make. I think that you show the world step by step the changes that you're going to make, and we all get to watch the process together. I think that keeping everything under wraps is a recipe for another ticking time bomb, really. It's just we're all waiting to just shit on Marathon again, you know? And I'm not saying that because I'm going to, you know, shit on Marathon when it comes out, whatever they show. I'm going to look at it for what it is. If it's good, I'll be like, I mean, it's good. You know, like, I don't mind. But I doubt that that's what the outcome will be. I doubt that's what the internet will say. And it feels like we're all just waiting around. Everyone's just waiting, sharpening their pitchforks and lighting their torches and getting ready for the dumpster fire as it's announced again. As with previous tests, the invitation reiterates NDA rules. Check out the following below. Oh, here's the NDA. Don't even imagine a world where you leak anything. We really appreciate your participation and value your feedback in our monthly closed playtest so far. We are reaching out because you indicated interest in participating in future research opportunities. We would like to invite you to join us for our Marathon 30-day user research study. This user research study is a playtest that will run for 30 consecutive days from Monday, September 8th to Tuesday, October 7th, including weekends. Being forced to play Marathon for 30 consecutive days sounds like a fate worse than death, if I'm being honest. You'll be required to play for a minimum of 1 hour daily during the playtest window of 3 to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 2 to 8 p.m. Pacific time on weekends. The study is 100% remote. Obviously, you're going to be playing from your house. Can you imagine if Bungie flies all these people out you have to fly out to Seattle and stay in their studio for a month, like in hotels, to play Marathon? So you can participate from wherever you are located. There will be a short daily survey and a weekly survey to gather your feedback. This is the part, as I was saying, like, you invite a select number of people to give a tiny portion of feedback, right? But then when the whole world sees it and they say, you know, they're all upset by the outcome, it's like, why do you care about the feedback from a select group of people versus the feedback from the whole internet, the whole big picture of the people that are going to buy this game. You should stop doing this. You're just burning more money and wasting more time. You should be super transparent about the changes that you're going to make in the game, and you should have a very aggressive campaign of saying, we want to get this game going, and stop hiding behind closed doors. Stop hiding. Show us what you're working on. And if you think that the internet would be too ruthless, the internet would be too savage, and no one would ever give any positive feedback, well, what do you think the outcome of this is going to be anyways then? You know what I'm saying? What you're saying is that it's cooked, right? If you think that if they actually went the transparent route, then if it's cooked, then it's cooked, right? Then just stop the whole project. But if you actually think that this game can stand a chance, you have to do so in a very public fashion. Upon completing the study, you'll receive the $500 gift card of your choice. I think of your choice is interesting. So it literally could be from Chili's. As a thank you for your valuable time and feedback, if you only complete part of the study, you will only receive the portion of the reward based on the number of days that you have completed. Gotcha. I gotta tell my friend here. Yo.
Yep.
Drews.
Hello.
Code Red here.
What's up?
The gift card that Bungie gives is a $500 gift card of your choice, which means McDonald's gift card.
Oh.
No, Drews could never. He has to support them by actually paying.
Yeah, I don't take McDonald's hands out. So actually, I don't even use the app to collect points because I feel bad for the company.
What?
Yeah.
Well, because they lose money on that stuff.
They overpriced every... Okay, I'm done with you. As you may have guessed, getting into this playtest is invite only. If you receive the email, open it, follow the link, and accept the updated NDA. If you didn't get an invite, there's no public sign up for this session. Your best bet is to opt into Bungie's user research opportunities in your Bungie account settings and keep an eye on your inbox for future invites. As for the release date, the studio hasn't made any official announcements, but confirmed that there will be an update from the dev team in fall 2025 regarding the progress we've made alongside the game's new release date. So here's the thing to think about with this stuff too, is that in order to make these changes, you have to invest a ton of money in developmental effort. So you have to pay all of these expensive salaries to all these people, and then you're just kind of doing a lot of guesswork. You're like, I guess we'll do this, I guess we'll do that. Whereas if you just make all of the decisions very transparent from every step of the way, then there's no guesswork. You're giving the community exactly what they want and exactly what they believe is the best for an extraction shooter. And even if you lose, at least you lose doing the right thing, right? Even if Marathon is a flop or unsuccessful after they do everything the community says to do, like the larger gaming community, right? The extraction shooter community, the Bungie fan community, etc. At least you did everything right. This, bringing things behind closed doors, adjusting a couple things here or there, and then trying to launch it again, it's gonna fall. This is just exactly the wrong way of doing things. This is like textbook, the perfect way to just burn millions and millions of more dollars for no reason, And that's why it's frustrating to see. Apart from that, in mid-July, Bungie expressly abandoned its US trademark application for Traxxas, a well-known faction in Marathon, after RC brand Traxxas opposed the filing, which is honestly kind of just petty and weird. I mean, an RC car company is named Traxxas with 2 X's and an A, and so therefore Bungie can't use the trademark Traxxas, which is honestly, it's just kicking a guy when they're down, Like, I found it funny that even happened, but patents and trademarks are always a bit of a frustrating thing to go through. And obviously, calling Traxxas inside a video game versus an actual physical RC car brand, like a physical little miniature car you can buy in real life, having any correlation with each other or stealing any sort of intellectual property is silly to me. But, I'm not a patent lawyer here, and I don't own any patents at all, so I don't have to deal with any of that. But that was pretty silly, right? What do you think about a 30-day marathon playtest? Let us know in the comments below. This makes Bungie look very desperate. They are trying to appease or appeal to their superiors, Sony, and trying to do the best they can to say, hey, we messed up, but we're doing this, we're doing that, we're trying to fix it, we're trying to navigate these waters, we're trying to get the game on board in a way that's successful, and I just think they're going about it the wrong way. And I think that because of that, they're going to get the exact outcome that everyone is predicting, I think, to give you a tangent, right? And it's not that I'm a big fan of Elon Musk at all. He's a goofball. Elon Musk is absolutely crazy person. But what he did when he entered into Twitter was pretty interesting, right? He enters into Twitter and he buys it for like 44 billion, and he's just super transparent about all the changes immediately. He immediately enters in and he's like, you know, we're going to make the whole new policy changes in regards to, you know, freedom of speech, so that way people can express different political views on the same platform that's meant to be the town square of the internet, right? And so he just immediately changes the whole fundamental thing, and he's transparent every step of the way. Then he goes and like fires like half the people that work at Twitter, and the site still functions just as efficiently because there's just a bunch of waste and fluff and people getting paid to do jobs that did nothing effectively, right? And basically the point I'm getting at is just the way that Elon Musk entered Twitter and disrupted that entire business and, you know, pushed it to be what it is, right? He also fixed the checkmark system where, you know, before, in order to get verified, you had to like know a guy that knows a guy, and then you had to like pay them like $10,000. This is real, right? I had several people offer to give me a verification check mark, but I had to pay them $10,000, right? Instead, now you have to pay a subscription fee, which is kind of lame, right? There's still problems with Twitter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Twitter is a perfect platform. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are on Blue Sky now, or a lot of people don't even go on Twitter in the first place. But what I am saying is that when he entered in, he was extremely aggressive with a new approach and a new change to a company that he felt was heading in the wrong direction, right? And I at least praised the energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's like the right energy of how to take this game, you know, or how to take this platform in this situation with Twitter, right? And that's the kind of energy I was hoping, even if it's different than those exact terms, right? That was kind of energy I was hoping after Bungie experienced their marathon crash. The energy of, you know, all right, look, we just hit a brick wall like no one has ever hit a brick wall before. The only way we're going to power through this brick wall is by going twice as hard as ever before, twice as aggressive, twice as, you know, much work, you know? That is truly the only way Bungie would ever move forward from a situation like this. It does not feel like that they feel that same sense of urgency. It feels like they are defeated. It feels like they are afraid. It feels like they are waiting for the end, you know? They're just waiting for their last breath, their last gasp before they put Marathon under, you know, before they take Marathon out behind the barn and put it down. That's what it feels like. That's the energy. That's the perception from the larger community. They're obviously trying to do the playtest thing, so they're doing something, but I don't think this is the right approach. And I really don't think that this ends well for them. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about Bungie's $500 playtest? And were you invited? If you were, you know, feel free to share some of that feedback on what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'll be interested in knowing what's going on. Obviously, I can't share any images, right? I can't share any videos. We can't break NDA, but you are allowed to, I believe you're allowed to talk about it. Actually, I don't know. I have to see what the NDA reads. I don't know if you're even allowed to talk about it. So don't break your NDA. Don't get yourself in any trouble. But if you can talk about the experience playtesting it, I'd be curious to know what it's looking like, because other people talked from the previous playtests. So I want to know. I'm curious. What are they doing to this game right now?